Hi, Dave Gubler, broker owner, IML Real Estate, and I'm here with your latest Mission Viejo real estate market update, where we'll talk about what happened in the month of April and months prior, what are we forecasting for the future, and what are the forces that are impacting our market here in Mission Viejo. Let's get right into it. At present time in Mission Viejo, only 60 homes on the market, 60 active listings of all types, detached single-family homes, condos, townhomes, with 90 homes in escrow and 69 sold during the month of April. Let's talk about volume or number of units sold briefly. We're above where we were in January when we sold 55 homes here in Mission Viejo, but we are a fairly significant number below the 100 sold in March. That brings up a topic that I think we should address, is that often when the media or analysts talk about the real estate market, they talk about it in terms of units sold or volume. While that does matter, it doesn't matter to you that much as a homeowner. What matters to us as Mission Viejo homeowners is what is the value of my home? What did homes similar to mine sell for? So whenever you're listening to pundits, analysts, etc., and they may or may not be speaking positively or negatively about the market, try to tease out what they're talking about. Are they talking about volume, units sold, which can be down when sellers are reluctant to sell and inventory is low? You will see much lower volume, but then that usually will impact price positively. The scarcer an asset is, usually the more expensive it is. So last month, average list price in Mission Viejo was $994,000 and change, with an average sale price of $993,000 and change. The biggest trend I see right now and to watch is the days on market dropping. That's an indicator to me that we're in a seller's market, and we'll talk more about why. 47 days average on market in January. So for all homes sold, it took an average of 47 days. And that's dropped consistently month over month, with 28 average days on market in April. I've teased it out below between detached and attached housing. That's obviously important, as there's quite a bit of difference generally between attached and detached housing. I like to talk about absorption rate when I'm trying to forecast market. In simple terms, the absorption rate is a measure of, you take the number of homes that sold during a month in a particular area and you divide it by the number of homes that were available in that area. Let's take a measure of absorption rate here on detached homes, where I see in particular it is in seller market territory. 36 active listings with 49 sold. That metric puts us well into seller market territory if we're looking at absorption rate. Let's look briefly at some of the homes that did sell in Mission Viejo in April. Our highest sale was a $2 million sale in the Skyridge tract of Mission Viejo. That's a newer set of homes built in 2018, incorporating all the latest, greatest architectural features and on-trend finishes. This particular home sits at the end of a cul-de-sac. It's got a city lights, sunset views, and a pool and spa, solar. And again, I mentioned how it incorporates, the on-trend finishes that buyers really like to see nowadays. That's our highest sale at $2 million, while the lowest sale in April was a $470,000 two-bedroom, one-bath condo in the Valencia community. That's right off Alicia before you hit Trabuco. That's a two-bed, one-bath for $470,000. That brings up a topic that I'd like to address. Obviously each home is very individual. You've got to analyze it based on its location. Is it in a cul-de-sac? Is it near a busy street? What amenities does it provide in that location? Do you have a view or not have a view? Pool and spa, yes or no? Does it incorporate on-trend finishes? Have you remodeled the home recently or not? All of these things play into the value. I'm sure you know that. And if you'd ever like a deeper dive into the value of your home, whether you're looking to sell or you're just curious, I'm happy to provide you with in-depth analysis of that. Let's talk about some more of these market trends and forces in Mission Viejo. We talked about active listings. This is a chart showing you from 2020 to present time. We reached a low point in December 2021 at 61 homes for sale, with a recent high point in the last 3 years in July of last year at 230. This is, to me, a big deal. You're looking at July of last year with 230 active listings. Let's look at April of last year too. I'll show you why. 155 homes for sale. We'll go back to what I led with. Presently in Mission Viejo, only 60 homes for sale. So you've got 155 last April, but only 60 this year. That's obviously less than half the number of homes for sale. That is a supply issue. Low supply, robust demand equals seller's market. We talked about the days on market. This is a chart going back again for 3 years. The low point was reached March of last year. That also corresponds to the highest point in average sale price for Mission Viejo. So 8 days on market, climbed from there. We know what happened. We know interest rates went up. We also know the media talk got pretty negative about housing. And we capped out January this year at 47 days average on market for all homes sold in Mission Viejo. As you can see, though, that number is dropping. Briefly touch on interest rates. It's dangerous to oversimplify how mortgage interest rates operate. Right now, we're sitting at an average for 30-year fixed at 6.39%. That's a bit above our 4-week average, not much, at 6.37, and then obviously above our 52-week average of 6.11. Would love to discuss with anyone about interest rates, where we think interest rates are going and why, and how that will impact the market. Suffice to say, for now, they've stabilized. They hit a high in November at over 7% for a 30-year fixed, but have been in a fairly consistent range, operating between 6 and 7 since then. And that stabilization helps, again, not to oversimplify, but for buyers, kind of knowing where your rate's going to be at, and that stability factor is positive, and therefore then positive for sellers as well. What all that does is impacts our sale price. So this is the same chart looking back for 3 years. This time I've only used detached homes, and you can see, as I mentioned before, the highest point ever for average sale price of detached homes in Mission Viejo was reached in March of 2022 at $1,277,000 and change. We then dropped. We reached our low point in January of this year at $1,010,000 average sale price. So that's about 21% off the high. So a reduction from March of 2022 to January of 23. The average sale price dropped about 21%. And then from there, we are now at a point where we are 10% above that. So we're only 13% below, or I'm sorry, less than. We're only 11% below our high water mark, and we're trending upward. So again, want to talk about how often the media will speak negatively about housing, and that you really need to tease the numbers out yourself. When you're only 10% below a high water mark and you're trending upward, to me, that's positive if you own the asset. Well, I appreciate you watching the video. Again, if you could like the video below, I sure appreciate it. And if you're watching on the YouTube platform, if you could subscribe to the channel for more tips and updates on Mission Viejo real estate and Orange County real estate. All right, bye now.